patio shades so she can enjoy some sun before the day gets too hot. The physical therapist should be there shortly. My aunt, Rowena Flowers, took a nasty fall in early spring and was recovering from a concussion and a broken leg, which was my impetus for finally quitting my Houston paralegal job and accepting her offer to come live with her for a while. In addition to keeping my aunt company, I was helping Thomas and Glenda, the housekeeper, manage the cottages during Aunt Rowe's recuperation. Thomas lifted his arm to check his watch, and I spotted a bloody cut on his forearm. Looked to me like he might need stitches. "What happened to you?" I pulled a fresh napkin from the dispenser and handed it to him. He accepted the napkin and dabbed at the wound.
El gato diablo is what. Gosh-darned cat crossed my path. Next thing, my toe caught on the curb and I fell flat out. Arm caught the edge of one of them fancy metal planters in front of the wine shop. Better'n smacking my head, I guess.
"A devil cat?" My forehead creased. "What are you talking about?"
"The black cat," he said. "Big fella, been around these parts since I was a kid."
"Since he was a kid?" "You're what?" I said. 30-something?
Close enough.
The coffee shop's owner, Max Dieter, came up with a mug for Thomas in one hand and a steaming coffee pot in the other. The big man had a fringe of strawberry blonde hair surrounding a bald crown and always offered a jolly smile. Without asking what Thomas wanted, he filled the fresh mug with a flourish.
"Heard you talking about the bad luck cat,"
he said.
"Legend around town. I thought we'd seen the last of him when Wes Crane loaded him up and carted him off to Nolan County."
I'd met the crotchety Mr. Crane, owner of the local hardware store, and wasn't surprised that he'd drive across the state just because a cat annoyed him. Thomas lifted his arm to show Max's injury.
"The cat's here in Lavender. Did this to me."
Max shook his head.
"The animal better steer clear of my place. I remodeled to bring in more business. Don't need bad luck scaring people away."
I stifled a giggle. If you asked me, Max's baby blue leisure suit-like pants and polyester print shirt were enough to drive customers away. "Y'all be serious," I said. "Cats don't bring bad luck. And there's no black cat that's like 30 years old." Thomas said,
"Remember, cats have 9 lives.
"Uh-huh." I rolled my eyes. "You took a fall this morning, that's all. It was an accident."
"You run into that cat one of these days,"
Max said.
"Most folks do sooner or later. You've been warned." "Right,"
Thomas nodded.
"El gato diablo."
"We'll see," I said, "but you didn't come to talk about a cat." Max took the hint and walked back to the counter, but that didn't mean he'd quit listening in on our conversation. Thomas leaned forward and lowered his voice.
"Weekend guests start arriving tonight."
I picked up my mug and sipped my coffee. "We discussed that earlier. Is there a problem?" Thomas nodded.
"Heard through a friend of my sister-in-law's neighbor that Bobby Joe Flowers is on his way here, too."
I frowned. "He was my dad's cousin."
"I know,"
Thomas said.
"And Rowena's. She won't be glad to see him."
"Okay." My shoulders tightened, and this time my tension had nothing to do with fiction. Dad had plenty of stories about Cousin Bobby Joe, none of them good. He was the rowdy one in the family, the risk-taker, the womanizer, the drinker. I never met the man. Maybe he's settled down by now.
"He hasn't."
Thomas drained his mug in one long swallow and put it back on the table.
"We can try to keep him away from Rowena, but she likes to face problems head-on, and he usually makes a beeline to her door."
I cocked my head. "Why is that?"
"Always looking for a handout,"
Thomas said.
"Never has a dime to his name to hear him tell it. Rowena's done good for herself. But last time, Bobby Joe didn't ask. Stole a couple $1,000 in cash from her safe."
My jaw dropped. "That's despicable. Did Aunt Rowe report him to the police?"
"Nope."
Thomas placed his elbows on the table and folded his hands as if in prayer.